Hi everyone. Thank you for coming to Hydra Management's 7 Secrets to Successful Resource Planning. My name is Dorito. I'm going to be doing a short presentation for you, and then I'll be going into a short product demo of Hydra, and then we're going to go into a bit of a summary, and you guys get to ask some questions after that. So thank you very much for joining us, and I'm going to start the presentation now. So the first thing is, let's talk about resource planning. In reality, and it often looks like this, so people are usually having a superstar complex, it's highly political, it's about who you know, first come, first serve. And what we mean by superstar complex is it's continuously using your top performing resources. Highly political, it's always opinion based, and so on. And so what we're trying to do is we're trying to say, well, let's move away from that, and with some successful resource planning, you could do a lot more. So, the common reason, what we hear within our organisation, within the industry, we know what common problems businesses are coming up against in managing resources. And they could be using complex monster spreadsheet, this huge spreadsheet that was maybe created by someone else, and you've had to take this on. Or do you actually know what everybody is doing? Do you have the right skills in order to deliver all your projects? And how can I limit over-allocation? One of the things that we hear all the time is constant over-allocation of my resources. How can I try to stop this happening? Do I put some processes in place? Well, yes. And this is why today we're going to teach you about the 7 secrets of successful resource planning from Hydra. So the first one is centralized collaboration of all your projects. As we know, we see that in order to manage projects, it's not just your projects. You've got to manage all your projects. You've got to manage your business as usual work as well, training, and any approved holiday. And the quicker you have this information available to you as a project manager, is the quicker you can make decisions and start to plan better within your resources. The second one is centralize your resource pool. So what we're trying to mean by that is here, most of you will know, and as you've probably seen, this is what happens within the usual work. Someone does 99% of the work, and often you find that resources are based all over the country, globally. They're all doing different things and working to different goals. However, with having a centralized resource pool will give you true visibility of your entire workforce, including external and internal resources, even equipment. From a resource point of view as well, if you're giving them the right piece of work, they're allowing resources to understand what they're actually doing and what they're having to deliver for you. Drive to granular planning. So what we mean by planning in a granular basis is it's all about the devil of planning is about the details of your assignments. What we're trying to say is go to the granularity of your tasks. The shadow resources are hiding in the white spaces inside assignments. If you move to a granular planning, you have the ability to see the full detail of what you need to do. Granular planning allows you to find the resources and the white spaces. Having an ability matrix against each skill type is important because of the amount of time it takes for them to do the work, which impacts your costs and your projects. You tend to use your superstars. So I tend to say, well, this person did a really good job for me last time, so I'm going to continue to use that same person. But what happens if that person is already being used by another project manager? What if that person is over-allocated? What if that person costs too much for the project? Whether it's an internal or an external resources, we all like to use our superstars. However, if we have a skills matrix and we have the ability to find the right people with the right skills to deliver the work sooner, then we could do a lot more with our resource planning. The fourth, allocation of resources based on skills. So this is going back to the granular planning and also using the skills matrix. So what we're trying to say is project managers allocate tasks to resources. But what we're trying to say is, how about you flip it the other way around? The way Hydra works is allocating resources to tasks. So finding the right resource in order to deliver that task that you need. If you have a centralized system and you have, wouldn't it be nice to be able to type in a skill, like I need to do this designing piece of work, and I ask the system to find me the designers, and the system will bring up all the different designers you have within your resource pool. And then you can decide, well, which ones can finish earliest, which one can start it soonest, and which one is maybe the cheapest cost. And maybe perhaps what would happen is someone would say, okay, well, this person costs a bit too much, but he can deliver it within the time frame I need. Or I'm happy to let this go over the time frame, but it's going to be a lot cheaper for me. Understanding that will help you be able to resource manage a lot easier and a lot better on every single project. Understanding the impact of decisions. This is very critical. What we're trying to say here is you want to understand, okay, the boss has just come to you and they said to you, you know, we've got a new project, you need to deliver it, but it needs to be done right now. And we've all been in this situation. And you're sitting there going, well, what if I can, how can I show him that this isn't the right decision? How can I show him if I move these people around, it's going to impact the cost of every single project? How can, wouldn't it be nice to be able to predict the future? So what we're trying to say is using a project prioritization allows you to be able to see the full impact of changing the priority of that project. So you might have it working on a first come, first served basis, and that's great. You might be having to do support desk work initially. So your business as usual work is going to impact. Do you want to move project work above business as usual? Business as usual is what keeps the lights on. So prioritizing your projects and going down to a granular view and having a skills matrix, you're already starting to see how you can impact your projects for the better. Because at the end of the day, how do you know what projects you can deliver with the resources that you have? And can you deliver any new projects with the resources that you have? So while you project prioritize, you make sure that that new project that's coming in can be delivered and when it will finish. And at the end of the day, how much is it going to cost the business? True capacity planning. I mean, capacity planning, if you were to plan all your projects with the resources you currently have, do you know how long it will actually take you? Well, we're going to plan for the future. So, for example, what most of our customers have done is they've said, right, well, let's put in all our projects and let's put in all our resources. And it's going to take me 3 years to deliver this. Okay, every single project. I might have 50 projects, I might have 1,000 projects, and I might only have 10 resources, or I have 150 resources. Okay, and it's going to take me 3 years. But suddenly you want to ask the question, well, what if I want to deliver this in 2 years? What if management said, can't have that, I need it delivered in a year or 2 years? So what you're able to do is you can put in what we call not after dates and say, well, what if I delivered this from here? The one thing you need anything to tell you is what extra resources I need, by when, and with what skill. And until you have this information, you can't start planning for the future. And you can't say, well, it's going to be delivered in 2 years. But at least with this information, you could go back to management and you could say to management, well, this is how many people I need. and they can start querying you, but you go back to them with the true information of why you need these people and why and where they're going to sit and what actual work they're going to deliver. So now we're going to talk about real-time visibility everywhere and everywhere. Okay. Now, regardless of what you're trying to do, whether you have an on-premise tool or a cloud tool, or both, preferably, it's not just about what's on the surface. It's about everything to do with all your projects, even from timesheets to risks and issues to mitigating those risks, to being able to understand what the people are actually doing. Real-time reporting gives you the ability to understand the information quickly and efficiently. The quicker you have the information, the better you can make decisions. Direct connection, between some project managers and your resources has to be fundamentally key. Because if you don't have a direct connection to them, i.e. through a messenger or through their timesheeting, you don't understand what issues they're coming against. And without understanding what issues or risks, it could delay the project. So it's very key to make sure you have a one-to-one connection, and the quicker you can get that information from the people on the ground delivering the work, the quicker you can make your decisions. Too often, second-hand information creates false understandings, can be very, very dangerous. So that's why having a key BI reporting tool can help you move forward. So there are 7 types of key secrets that we have within the organization, okay? But what we're going to show you now is we're going to move on to our product demo, okay? And what we're going to show you is how using Hydra will actually help you deliver these key 7 secrets, okay? So what I'm going to show you here, and hopefully it should start coming through, you should start to see my screen. And Hydra here is an on-premise tool, okay? And what you have here is you have 4 windows, okay? The first window, as we said, the 7 secrets. The first window is having all your projects and all your understanding of all everything that you're doing within the business, not just projects, but business as usual work as well, all in one view. And that's what we have here. We have my IT plan and the business as usual work that I'm doing, and also every single project that it comes under me. Now you have a step up from this. You have a project register that a PMO can view, that can allocate these projects out to people, okay? The second part, a Gantt. What project manager can't live without a Gantt? Okay, so here you have the dates, and here's the today's date, but this is where I'm planning from, and here's where all my projects are currently finished. Now the biggest key, as we were talking about, building up a key matrix of your resources. At the bottom here, we have our resources, okay? And as you can see here, we have Amy, okay, as part of the London-based team. You can change these around and you can put them in any types of columns that you need. And what I'm saying is Amy, on the right-hand side, this is Amy, on the right-hand side, I am seeing her utilization, okay? But I may want to see what is her remaining availability, for example, in a percentage. So at the moment, it's showing that she's only got 10% availability in Q4. So she's very overworked, and so are all these other people. So here is showing, as we were talking about in another secret, granular planning gets you to see the white spaces. Okay, and that's what we're showing you here. So I'm just going to go back to Amy. So what I want to do is click on Amy, and this is where we were saying build up a skills matrix of all your resources. So another one of the secrets. So we have an overview of Amy, and we have here her different types of skills. Now you could start at high level. You could say, what we're going to do is, for example, I'm only going to go by job titles, for example. So Amy is an IT analyst, and that's it. But the bit more, as you get into it, the more you can add their skill types in, the more you can look to see what their ability is. So as you can see here, Amy has 4 types of skills. You can put a language in there, like French. or you can put a geographical area. But you've also had their ability. So as an analyst and as an engineer, she's 100%. I give her a 10-day task, it will take her 10 days. But as a designer, she only has 80%. If I give her a 10-day task, it will take her 12 days. So again, understanding the impact that what your resources can deliver, and understand the impact on your project. She only has 90% in French, so there's probably a couple of words that she doesn't know, so maybe bear that in mind. We're also going to go to costs. Amy, this is what we're talking about, perhaps building up different rate cards for different people or different projects. So we're just saying here as a standard that Amy has, she costs £100 every hour, for example, okay? But what if I could easily say, well, I wanted to start on a certain day, so between September and November, she costs £100 an hour. Or I could say between December and January, she's actually £200 an hour, because she's an external contractor, or something along those lines. So you really get to go into the detail of what each resource is doing. And also, their calendar. What can they actually deliver? What are the hours that they're actually working? So for example, Amy works 9 till 5, okay? So I might put in here that between 12 and 1, she's unavailable every day, or just this day, because that's when she goes for lunch. So when I'm planning, and I'm saying that Amy, I need you to do 8 hours of work, it will come in here and it will split it up 4 hours in the morning and then the other 5 hours in the afternoon. Okay? If there's an extra hour, it will push that to the next day. So again, you're understanding how long projects takes and how long people can actually work for. Now, if I wanted to override this and add over allocating, and this is one of the biggest problems, the system is here to design is to not over allocate people. Is to use 100% of every resource that you have and to recommend other resources. So then that you're getting projects done. But if you wanted to over allocate, you can. Okay, and then this part here, they'll show black means that they're 100%, green that they have some availability. If it's red, it will come up that they're over allocated. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into, as we say, I'm going to plan a little project here and see how we can use a skills matrix in order to use different people. So I'm going to go into a template, and I've got these projects here that have already predefined effort against them. So I'm just going to copy this. You can use a Microsoft, you could use MS Projects, you can use any kind of other tool, and this will still copy and paste all the dependencies. So I'm going to go back into my plan. Back into my plan. And I'm just going to plan this new project here. It's at the bottom of the priority. This list is based on a priority order. And I'm going to paste it in there. Okay. Now I'm going to make sure that this work is, as you do in just any other tool out there, any other planning tool, you can indent it. So now I've got this project, my new project, and I've got these tasks that I needed to do with the dependencies alongside. Okay, and along here I could see all the costs associated to it, the remaining effort, the total effort, all done by the timesheets that people were handed in. So as you can see here, what I'm now going to do is I'm now going to say, right, well, I've got this specification work, okay, and I want Amy, okay, I've used her before. So this is the perfect way. I've used Amy before. I think she's really good. So this specification work, I'm going to give it to Amy. And the first thing you'll notice, it pushes it out to when Amy is next available to deliver that project. Okay? But what if I need a designer? I don't know what designers I have. I need a designer in order to deliver this work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask the system to help me find a designer. So I click OK, and it's shown me that Nick Thompson is the person that I should use. But why should I use Nick Thompson? We have here the alternative assignments. And the system is telling me that Nick Thompson can finish it soonest and can start it soonest. Okay? But it's also the cheapest cost. So I can say, well, you know, when someone comes to you and says, I want to use David, You could go to them and say, well, they can start and finish it, but actually Nick Thompson's going to be cheaper for you. Or look, if I use Amy or Jim. Jim can do it in exactly the same time, but they're more expensive. So it's taken into consideration all these different aspects of when people can actually deliver the work and how much they cost you. So this is not replacing you as a project manager. This is here to help you make, on any decision that you're making, help you make the right decision, to show you the impact of the decisions that you're making. So I'm going to leave it with Nick, and I'm going to plan the rest of the project. So I need an engineer here, but I can say I need an engineer that speaks French, for example, or German, okay? And it will come up with the person in bracket. Now, in bracket, it's saying that this person, you see here, they're not in bracket, and this one they are. The reason it's saying that is because they're confirmed. If I confirm Nick, then that means at this moment in time, it's just suggesting that at this moment, Nick is best to be able to deliver this piece of work. So we'll go back to this one, and now I've designed my whole project. As you can see here, it's all been designed. But what I'm going to do now is we're going to go to one of the other secrets, and that's a what-if scenario planning. Changing the prioritization and showing what the impact is of changing the priority. So I'm going to save my baselines. Sorry. Okay, and we've all done this before. So I'm going to save the baselines of all my tasks and all the projects. And as you can see here, I've got my baseline. So the blue is a snapshot of what's currently happened, okay? And the red is what would actually happen. So I've got my new project here, and I'm going to move this up in the priority order. So just by using the simple arrows, I move this up. And the first thing you will see is it can now start sooner. But it's impacted this project. This project has now moved out. So again, carrying on, moving projects back, until I find when the project can actually be delivered. When's the best place to project? I don't want to move it above the BAU work, because BAU work is what keeps the lights on. Okay? But it's taken into consideration all the holidays, all the people that are doing this work. Now, if I just go back a bit and open this project up, okay? What I'm going to show you is, see these people here in brackets, if I move this down, it will show you if anyone else is better placed to deliver these pieces of work, it will change these automatically for me. So as you can see here, in this engineering part, it's suggesting Amy because of the support desk upgrade. But if I move this up, it's now changed it to Lee. So now Lee is best placed to change this. Maybe because, as we said before, cheapest cost, better understanding, can deliver it sooner or later. Okay? So that's shown me how a project prioritization, and I've got on hold here, for example, if I want to put this project on hold, and I say yes, okay, this has moved, as you can see, all these projects are now back to normal. Okay, it's saying that I'm now delivering. Because all the people that were in this project are now being reallocated elsewhere. If I click no, these projects move out again. And at the moment, all I'm doing is planning. Until I actually go into my plan and I actually publish the plan, nothing will happen. So this is giving you real insight into people for your management to say, if you want to use these people, or this the prioritization you want, here is the impact that's going to happen. Okay. And last but not least, what we're going to show you is what we call the time limited function. So I've got my projects, and it's going to take me, all these projects, it's going to take me to 2016 in Q1. But hold on a minute, management say they want it delivered before the end of the year. So what I could do is I could go to every project and we could put in a not after date. Okay, so I don't want this to finish before then, I don't want this to finish before then. And then what we got is a time limited function. We click on the time limited function, and this will work out all the projects and all the priorities that I have. And it will tell me it's created one extra resource. Okay, it's looked at all the constraints I have, and if I go down to my resources, I've got my extra resources down here, and it's telling me I need a tester. Okay, And through the tester, if I look and find at some point around here, it will tell me when exactly I need this tester in order to deliver this piece of work. Okay? And I can show you that within the Gantt chart as well up here. Okay? So that's our time limited function. We also have a BI tool that is essential to Hydra. And that I can show you that. We also have a web timesheet as well. It's very easy to use within our customers. But what I'm going to show you is just go back into our presentation. Sorry. Here we go. Just go back into my presentation. So here, within the presentation, has a bit of a summary. So what we were saying is resource management maturity model it's a journey, okay? You're starting off with visibility and you're going up to optimizing your resource planning, and you're making sure that you're starting from a very low level. No matter what maturity level you are, it's better to get to a granular detail. Because the more granular detail you go into, it works towards better task level planning and better resource management. So what you have is a different basis, and we can send this out to all the people that request this in order to better get to that point of view. But in summary, what we've shown you today is resource planning is a complex aspect of project management. It's very hard to use. You know, it does take a long time, and our customers do get there. Our customers get there in 6 months. Our customers get there in 3 months. Okay, it all depends on the changing. Now we understand that putting in a process, you're going to change. However, with Hydra, you can continue to use other projects. You can continue to use other timesheeting tools. But what we're trying to say is if you start from where you really are and change it from a complex spreadsheet to a system that allows you to utilize your 100% of your resources. You want to strive to increase better levels of detail and granular planning, and getting the information quickly from your resources helps you understand the data a lot better. So I just wanted to show you a couple of case studies. Kerridge, for example, these are the two aspects. Kerridge have now, with the people that they have, about 245 resources, they can deliver 55% more projects with the same amount of resources. Skanska, on the other hand, they can deliver 8% more projects with the same amount of resources, just by using Hydra. And all of these have all been done within the first year of using Hydra. So I'd like to open it up to any questions out there, and we'll see if anyone does have any questions. Let's just open up the chat. There's a little chat at the bottom of your screen. If you'd like to type in a question, then hopefully we can answer everything for you. Or has the demo been that good that you don't have any questions? Normally it's like that, I completely understand. So we do have one here, and it says, I don't have a skills matrix in place. Does it take long to create a list? No, as I said within the demo, you can start from a high level with maybe, for example, job titles, okay, and eventually go into a more granular detail. And that's what I'm saying. It's all about getting to that granular detail. Start at one level and move up in your maturity as you get there. The second question we have here coming up is, can I continue to use my current project planning software alongside Hydra? Yes. Some of our customers came from spreadsheets, came from MS projects, and they're still using that, but they're using Hydra to do resource planning. If I go back to, for example, Skanska, they still use a project planning system. However, they use Hydra for resource management, because Hydra is key to resource management. It's the only system out there that does resource management in the way you need to. So, unless there's any more questions, it looks like that's it. That's the end. Thank you very much for joining me. I really appreciate it. Although, if you want to come back to further information, just go to info@hydra-management.com. Contact us, ask for any of us here directly within the sales team or within the technical team. More than happy to help. And thank you again for joining us. And I look forward to hearing from you soon.